Hey there, fellow job seekers. Professor Wolters here, and today we're here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and today what I want to do is give you some tips about what you should remember before your first job interview, okay? And really the biggest thing you need to do, the first tip I have for you is be prepared. Do your research about the company, about their products, about their industry, about the people you're going to be talking to, the president of the company, the interviewer. Yeah, a little Facebook stalking. It happens. They got LinkedIn for that, so it's totally fine. But do your research, because once you do your research and you're prepared for that interview, it shows that you care about this job. You want this job. I know I've been in a lot of interviews for people trying to work where I work, and they say the name of the school wrong. I'm like, oh, you don't even know how we pronounce the name of the school? That's not good. That's not good at all. And that's showing that you're not really caring enough. By being prepared, by doing that research goes a long way to show your true interest in the position. Also, by doing that research, you're preparing yourself by knowing more about the industry, knowing more about the company, so you can ask more in-depth questions about what the job's like, what's going on in the industry, what the latest news is while in that business. Hey, that can really help out to show that you know your stuff, okay? And here's a little hack. If you get a last-minute interview and it's like they're like, hey, we want to talk to you tomorrow, go search their website, go look up the Wikipedia, learn as much as you can really quick. That'll at least give you something to start with. But that's the really key first thing, is be prepared for that first interview. Now, the second thing I want you to remember when you're looking at this interview is remember, it's not just you interviewing for that job. It's that job interviewing for you. I mean, think about it. If you take this job, this could be your job for the next 2 years, 5 years, 50 years. I mean, think about it. This is kind of important. So when they're asking you these questions and they're saying, well, what do you think about a job that's 100% travel? Wow, 100% travel seems really cool. But then you think about it, wait, 100% travel means I'm never home. Well, how am I going to enjoy that big TV I got with my bonus if I'm never home to watch TV, right? And so you have to think about these things. And remember, if you're in this interview and you hear things that goes, this isn't really right for me, you realize that, you know what, it may sound like a great job, but it's not right for me. And that's what you have to remember, because you have to think about yourself as well when you are interviewing, because that job, it's got to interview for you too. And what goes along with that is really, you need to listen to the interviewer. Now, I know when you prepare, you're preparing questions, you're preparing answers, you're preparing all kinds of stuff, right? And so you hear the interviewer asking you a question. You're like, oh, I know what this one is. And you kind of jump in too soon. Just wait. Listen to the interviewer. Sometimes you can learn stuff. You can read between the lines and realize, oh, I need to answer this question differently. Oh, this is something I really should know. So make sure you're listening to them. Now, when I'm saying listen to those interviewers, my next recommendation for you is make sure you practice the questions you know they're going to ask. You know those questions. What's your biggest weakness? When has your strength been a weakness for you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Practice those questions before you go in and record yourself. How do I sound? How does it work? Am I getting the main points across? Am I selling myself to this business? Because that's what you have to think about, is they know that you know that they're going to ask that question. So you need to make sure you have a great answer for all those standard interview questions that they give. And the thing is when you practice all those questions, it helps you with my next tip, and that is to relax. Look, you're going to go work with these people, for the next who knows how many years. You don't need to be nervous. Oh my goodness, what are they going to think of me? Look, they're going to be your coworkers. It's kind of like your first day at school. You're all nervous, and now you look back years later at school and you're like, why was I nervous the first time I met Mike? I mean, this is really weird. Just got you relax. Just be yourself, because you want them to hire you. You don't want them to hire a fake you, right? So relax, be yourself, and that will make things a lot easier in the interview process. And one way you can actually kind of relax better is my next tip, and that is find some common ground with your interviewer. Maybe you went to the same school as them. Maybe you like a similar sport. Maybe they find something in your resume that resonates with them. Find that connection. Because the thing is, your interviewer, they're interviewing dozens of people. Who are they going to remember? The first person they interview and the last person they interview. If you're somewhere in the middle, it's going to be hard to get remembered. So find that common ground with them so you can kind of stick in their mind, okay? And my last tip for you for this first interview, or your first set of interviews, is don't stop interviewing. I don't care if they tell you, oh, we're down to 2 candidates, I'm really sure you're going to get it. Until you have that offer sheet and it's signed, you should keep interviewing. Because you never know. I mean, I've had students that had jobs and they were getting ready to go, and then they got fired before they even started. because bad economic times come, different management team comes in, the person that hired you just got fired. Guess what? You might lose your job too before you even start. So it's important to keep interviewing, keep abreast. And when you do have a job, always keep abreast of what's going on in your industry in case you have to interview again in the future, because it does happen, all right? And I think another little bonus at the end here for your interviews is never burn the bridges. You never know when you're going to be looking for another job, and that person you interviewed for that one job might come around and you might need to be interviewing with them again for a different job farther down the line, okay? So I hope this helps you getting ready for your first big interview. My fingers are crossed for you. Good luck, or the thumbs, or however you like good luck. I wish you good luck and all the best in your interview process. Bye from here in Cheyenne, Wyoming.